Hi, I'm Mike. This is part one of a multi-part series on how to build nightstands or end tables. Part one starts with the most visible part of the tabletop. The project starts with the wood you see here. The tabletop was made out of this nice piece of hard maple. To start, I first squared up the edge of the hard maple. Next, I cut 2 equal lengths of tabletop. You can see I had one piece of scrap left over. This will be important later. Then I took the boards over to the joiner and squared up one edge. Luckily, this board came planed and square to begin with, so this was relatively easy. Next, took it over to the table saw to square up the other side. Now for the fun part. I really wanted these tabletops to be beveled on the top. So here I am cutting the first bevel. I did multiple test cuts with multiple pieces of wood. And somehow, I still screwed this up. Here I am realizing that the width is going to be way too short. The front face would have been something like only 5 inches apart, which was just way too close together. So I set up the table saw with a new bevel and cut the second piece. Much better. Luckily, I had the scrap piece of the tabletop that I could use as a second tabletop because the first one was absolutely ruined. There was no saving that. The scrap piece was a little bit long, so I had to square that one up and cut it to length. Next, I cut the bevels on the front and backs of the tops. This got a little dangerous as the cut was made, the bevel wanted to pinch in on the saw. The first one went okay, but the second one went really badly, and I ended up having to stop the saw midway through, pull the piece back out, and cut it again. See here, there was quite a bit of burnout on the front and the back because this was end grain that I was cutting. We were able to clean that up later with some sandpaper. Alright, on to the sanding. I'm not kidding you, I spent probably 3 hours sanding. This is sped up by 10x. And you can see I spent a lot of time sanding. And it's very important when you're sanding these, something beveled like this, you have to sand evenly on the front and the sides. The front, being end grain, takes a lot longer than the sides. But in order to keep that bevel in the corner, you have to sand both evenly, so it takes forever. Also, it's very important to wear your PPE and have good ventilation. Yep, still sanding. I'm not kidding when I said this took forever. Oh, finally done with those bevels and onto the bottom. And then the top. And this isn't even the final sanding. This was just to get it all cleaned up so that I could continue working. There may be more modifications to the top. I might round over the edges. Here's a sneak preview of what it looks like. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is part 1. Look out for the other parts to the series. And subscribe and leave a comment below.